Ukraine, the US is now taking a step back. Despite expressing a sense of urgency in capping Russian oil prices, the United States has realized that it is just not ready to immediately drop Russian oil. So it is bringing in a grace period during which Russian oil will flow freely in the markets. The US has announced that all Russian oil shipments loaded before the 5th of December will be exempted from the USA's price cap plan. The shipments of Russian crude loaded before the December deadline must also be unloaded before the 19th of January to be granted the exemption. Also, according to Bloomberg, a Treasury Department official also stated that a similar grace period for exemption will be granted to Russian petroleum exports. All refined petroleum loaded before the 5th of February will be exempted from the price cap plan. The decision to limit and dictate the price of Russian oil was meant to come into action with the help of the European Union and its sanctions on Russia. Basically, the European Union would cut services to companies dealing in Russian fuel without the price cap, services such as insurance, trading, and brokering. The US, meanwhile, has convinced the G7 countries, which had agreed on the price cap, to take a step back and provide exemptions to shipping companies trading in Russian oil. But why would the US lobby for Russian oil to remain freely in the open market a little longer? The European Union's latest sanctions package plans to strip shipping companies of insurance and other services. If fully implemented, a huge amount of Russian oil would be eliminated from the market, causing global prices to skyrocket. After all, Russia is the largest exporter of oil to global markets, and the absence of such a player from the markets would prove to be an expensive gambit, even for the US and Europe, not to mention the rest of the world. And this is precisely why the US wants to delay this self-hurting measure. Not only is the US economy in dire need of a recovery path, but the freezing winter is approaching, and so are the November midterms, where Republicans and Democrats will fight it out. One of the most worrying problems for the Biden administration and the Democrats has been sky-high gasoline prices and historically high inflation. As its focus shifts towards elections, it is clear that the Biden administration wants to do everything in its power to control prices of oil while also appearing to be punishing Russia, all until the midterms are over. This is also clear from the fact that the Biden administration drained more than 15 million barrels of oil from the USA's strategic oil reserves. Before that, Joe Biden had reportedly pushed Saudi Arabia to postpone the OPEC Plus's scheduled oil production cut for a favorable time after the November elections in the US. That bid failed, as Saudi Arabia did not fulfill the president's wishes. Now, the price cap plan, which has been discussed and criticized for months now, is still under discussion, with whatever details it entails being hazy and unclear. The USA's focus is more on granting exemptions at the moment than anything else when it comes